Have you heard about the Homeschooling Act bill that the state of Illinois is trying to push? So yeah, it's a bill that they're trying to push. Parents are outraged in the state of Illinois because what this Homeschooling Act bill is going to mandate, if you decide that you want to pull your kids out of public school or private school, you're going to have to submit what you're going to teach your children, like a curriculum, for them to okay it. Yeah. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Andronique. Welcome to Timeless Lifestyle Abroad, where we talk about all of the reasons why you might want to consider moving abroad. Explore your options. I left the United States last year and moved to Paris, France. I'm in the process of moving to Nice now, and I'm helping people see a different perspective. Explore your options because there's a ton of reasons why the United States is not it anymore. Food, healthcare, schools. So let's talk about this school bill that they're trying to push. The parents in Illinois are outraged. So I'm going to read it to you just real quick here. It essentially is the Homeschooling Act, known as HB 2827, would mandate homeschooling parents to fill out a homeschooling declaration form that would essentially register them in the nearest public school district. It's essentially the children of parents who don't fill out the form would be considered truant, and with penalties applying according to this bill's synopsis. So essentially, you have to submit the curriculum so that your kid is like registered. They get to look at the curriculum and determine whether you're homeschooling them properly. And if you don't register them and you don't submit your curriculum, that child will be considered truant. So we already know about the schools who push and indoctrinate, who have been indoctrinating our children into gender things. I don't want to say too much here, but yeah, you can be a boy or you could be a girl. There's books for it. Some states, if a child wants to consider a different gender, the parents do not need to be notified. That's in the state of California. And they can put a kid through a process, get them some therapy, and the parents don't have to be notified. So we got that going on. And then, of course, we have like the tampons in the bathrooms in Tim Walz's state, the former VP candidate. Now, if you're and we won't forget about the school situations, right? So now you've decided, you know what? I'm just going to homeschool my kid. I'm just not going to deal with this. Well, what? You can't do that. You cannot parent your child. You can't tell them anything about whether they want to change their gender, whether it's safe for them to go to school or not. All they're learning in school essentially is how to stay out of the way of some situation happening, because we've already talked about the test scores. Our kids are in high school, can't read, third grade level, can't do math. And they're just pushing them along. So parents are saying, you know what? I'm just going to homeschool my kid. And yay for all of the people who have that option. But now, because so many parents are doing that in the States, they're saying, yeah, no. You're going to register and we're going to tell you if it's okay. And if we don't like it, your kid's going to be a truant. Tell me, in what other country in the world does this? No other country does it. So when you're considering moving abroad and you're thinking, well, what about my kids? They're in school. I would say, yeah, this is an option for you. Moving abroad is an option for you. Not only is healthcare free, and it's the schooling is free once you become a resident. Tell me, what is the benefit of your kid being in school in the United States? Because I've just mentioned the situations, can't say it. They could pick their gender. The parents don't have to be notified. They're reading books that are teaching them how to do all kind of different things. And now if you get sick and tired of all of the shenanigans and you're like, I'm just going to do this at my house. I'm just going to homeschool my kid. Now they're going to make it almost impossible, because what if you don't want to turn in your curriculum? What if you want to teach your kid Christian values? What if you want to teach your kid that you can't change your gender? And then you submit that and then they don't approve it. And then what happens? You have to put your kid back in school. And mind you, like I said in the beginning of this video, it's not just for public school. So we know if they try to do this in private schools, they're going to lose a lot of funding. But will they lose federal funding? Like, when did it become acceptable for a government to feed us food that's really not FDA approved, because other countries don't have the food we have? Like, other countries have seeds in their fruit, but we eat what we eat. And now they tell us how to school our children. Tell me now that living in this country is something that you really, really want to do. because it's not. But like I've said in every video, it is not hard to move abroad. And I wrote a brand new planner. I have several planners. The link is in my bio. How to move to France, the Schengen region, and what that is, and how to get a visa applications, the cost of living, and like the most popular places where expats are moving to. I just wrote another one, how to move abroad in less than 12 months. It is literally a step-by-step guide. And there's some verbiage in there about schools. You have to like take your life into your own hands, because people are moving abroad because there's no reason not to. And we've already debunked that it's so expensive to live in other countries. We've debunked that. That's not true. We already know that the food in other countries are healthy. We already know that the food we eat here is banned in other countries. We already know this. We already know that we have to hold our breath when we send our kids to school because we don't know what's going to go down. We already know about how some people think it's acceptable for non-biological men to play with biological girls in sports. I mean, there's just like, and I'm not trying to make this political, but I'm just saying you have to stop making excuses why you cannot leave and move abroad. If you want your life to be better, if you want to eat better food, if you don't want to be inflamed from all of the processed preservatives and all the crap and chemicals and coloring and all the stuff that they put in the food, you have to leave the country, right? If you want like a grape that has a seed in it, and that sounds so basic, like when you're eating tomatoes or grapes or watermelon and there's no seeds in them, where do you think they're growing them at? Because that's how those fruits grow. They've always grown that way since the beginning of time, and now they don't have to. And the fact that they put that pink stuff in ground beef to make it like beefier, and they inject like poultry with water to make them heavier so you pay more, and they stick them in that bleach to bleach all the germs off of them. They don't do that in other countries. I mean, literally, I bought a whole chicken in France, like when I first went there, and it wasn't even white. It was like a beigey yellow color because they don't dip it in chlorine. They don't leave their eggs in the refrigerator because they've taken the coating off of them so that they can't live outside the refrigerator. You buy eggs off of a shelf in the grocery store. They're not in a refrigerator. Like if you really, really want to be healthy, and if you really want to be happy, and if you really want to have a decent quality of life, you have to consider moving abroad. And you have to let go of the fear that it costs so much to move abroad. I mean, once you become a resident in any country that you choose, your kids go to school for free. If you're still someone who's having children, they have like lactation, it's not a problem looking for somewhere to lactate after you've had a baby, because that's the culture. In Copenhagen, like they have like, you bring your kid to work with you, and there's like whole daycares, and like they leave their kids outside in their strollers and nobody bothers the children. Like it's like, really, I really implore you, go do some research. Click the link in my bio, pick any of those. Some of the guides I have are $2. Because they're just like little how to get a visa, what the visa is like. But the new planner, it's literally a checklist, step-by-step guide on how to do this. There's no reason why you can't. You can't say you don't know how. I've done all the groundwork. I've literally done it. And I've helped so many people. It's not hard. This country had everyone hypnotized into thinking that this was the place. That I keep saying this because I'm in LA right now, my daughter's house. This is not the place. It really isn't. And I'm sure you've been outside the country. This United States of America is not the United States of America where the American dream used to live. I mean, just look at the news. That's all I'm going to say politically. Check out my planner, step-by-step guide on how to move out of the country within 12 months. I left in 3 months. I have been in talent acquisition my entire career, started as a recruiter, put a kid through college by myself, apparently made so much money that I didn't qualify for any Pell Grants or federal, aid or whatever, tuition assistance, like nothing. I had to pay for it, right? And she went to an Ivy League school, right? And so there was no option because I was like filthy rich, apparently. And one day, she's grown now. One day I was like, you know what? I've worked my entire entire life. And I'm not retired yet. And I was like, I'm just going to start setting up some things because, yeah, I was saving my money. Because what do you say? What do you got a big fat savings account? It can't be 401k, right? Because that when the stock market tanks, so does your 401k, unless you have an IRA, which hopefully you have that instead. Oh, and I just left. I sold all my stuff. I sold my car. I figured out how to get my pet. I did all this research and I bought a ticket and I left. And I come back and forth to visit my family. And now I'm in the process of moving from Paris to Nice. And the visa application is 99 euros. I mean, you have to make, in France, you have to make a minimum of $1,300 a month. And you have to have your own health care until you become a resident. So you get a long-term visa. I have a long-term visa. In a year, I can renew it or I can apply for my residency. And then you have to take a French test and all this stuff. I mean, my planner says everything. So click the link in my bio and just look up this Homeschooling Act. It's in Illinois. Oh, it's on the news right now. The parents are outraged. And I had to make this video. Like, I had to stop everything and make this video because what the hell? Now, and you know, Trump's like, I just want the states to be in charge of education. I don't want it to be held at the federal level. So is this what they're going to do? They're going to give it back to the states, and then the states are going to say you can't homeschool your kid unless we say that the curriculum is okay and you register. Why do they have to register? Register for what? They're not registering in your school because your kid's not going to the school. And if you don't, then your kid's a truant. I don't understand. Click the link in my bio. Take a look at the different guides I have. Stay tuned. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think that this might be another reason why moving out of the country might be a thing? I think you should explore your options. In the meantime, click the subscribe button. Stay tuned. This is a new channel, so I'm trying to figure out when to post. But yeah, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think and click the link in my bio.